Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully complete the code application for the student year, right? So right now for our this school management system we will need another student group, that means student all that subject group. Okay, that means the science, health, arts, mathematics, so everything will be in our group position. So for the reasons here we have to create another the same concept. We have to create another same concept for our student group. So that will be one of the another code application, and also here I need only one field as a name. Okay, that will be just like that same, and I have already created that main structure, so I will copy everything and apply it for our this one. Okay, so let's do that work. So first of all, in our site menu I want to create one of the another menu. So right now we don't need this. I remove everything here, and right now I copy everything from our student year. Okay, so that will be just like that same. Into the sidebar I want to create another menu. I copy it and I paste it. So that will be as a student. I want to replace it year to the group. Okay, so that will be just like that same as I told you. So that will be the group, and then group view, and this type of one of the name I want to use, and that will be as a student group. That will be as a student group, right? We have to create this route. Now go to our web route, and here it will be just like that same. I want to create another one. I name it, that will be as a student group. Okay, group route. So I want to create this route also into the same prefix, that means the setup prefix. So perfect. Now first of all I want to copy it, and it will be just like as a copy or paste, because I have already created that structure. I paste it. So that will be here. I name it as a student group view. Copy it. That will be as a student group view. I only want to replace it the year to the group. Okay, and also I want to create another controller. I want to create another model, and also I have to create another database table. That means we have to create also one of the migration file, right? Let's do that work. So first of all, because up I have already created this part, so that will be one of the controller I want to create, and here I have to create one of the controller. It will be as a group. Okay, group, that means the student group controller in our backend, that is a setup folder, and that will be our controller. Our controller created successful. Also I want to create another model. I want to create another model for the group, that will be as a student group, and also I want to create another migration file. Click as a enter. So now it's created one of the model, and also it's created one of the migration table, right? Now go to our migration. I want to create it. So that will be just like same. Here I copy it from our student year. I want to add another field for also for our this student group. Okay, so after this I add another one, that will be as a string, and name will be the same one field. I name it as a name, and that will be as a unique. Okay, perfect. Now click as a save all, and after this I want to migrate it as a PHP artisan migrate. Now click as a enter. Migration is successfully created. If you now go to our database, and now I have created another one, you can see there is another one as a student group, and that will be only one field as a name. So now I want to create one of the view page. So right now we don't need this, and also I have to load our controller. That will be the same. I copy it, paste it. That will be our setups, and then I have created as a student group controller. Now copy it. That will be as a student group controller into the perfectly same position, right? Perfect. So now we can actually use this student group controller. So for our this student group route I have created, so that is our student group controller. Here I want to create one of the method as a view group. Okay, that will be as a view group. So this view group method I have to create in our student group controller. Go to our student group here. That will be as a same as a public, and then function, and then our method, function, and then our method name, right? So that will be just like same as I told you. First of all, if you right now I copy everything from our student year controller. We have to load our model first. So I load this model. So I have created one of the model as a student group. that will be as a student group. I copy it, that will be as a student group, and then I copy everything from here. I copy it from our student here, and in our student group it will be the same. I think you already know what exactly the things I did on here. So with this student group, I want to get all that our student group table data, take the things with this variable. Here I pass it. Now I want to create another return view into the backend. Right now for the group, I have created another one as a group. Okay, group folder. Into the group folder, I want to create another page as a view group. Okay, so now let's create it. Now the group folder in our setup folder, that means in our backend. So into the backend, there is a setup folder. Here I have created new one as a group, and to the group area, I want to create on the file as a this one. Click as a save as, and I just name it as a view group .blade.php. Okay, so this file will be just like our view here. Copy it. I only replace here to the group. So that will be, I paste it in our group and a view group. That will be as a student group. Okay, student group list. I want to create another button as a student, add student group. Okay, perfect. And then our serial number will be same. Our foreign key, I pass it with the same name as a all data. So with this all data, I make it as group. Okay, I make it as group. Whatever the name you actually choose, you can choose it. So now with this, automatically it will be display that our serial number, and then with this group, I want to display our name. Our database field name is also for this table as a name, right? So right now we don't need to change anything. And then our ID will be with this group. With this group, we have to pass this our ID for our edit at the delete. So I will do that things later. Perfect. That's all. Now click as a save all. Now go our this position, click as a refresh. So now you can see there is a student group. So if you click as a student group, perfectly loaded our student group list. Right, they have also the same name, and there is our add group. So now I want to add this group. So that is our view group page, and here there is actually our add student group. So now I want to create another one as a student group add. Okay, student group add. We have to create this route. Now go to our web route. I want to copy right now from our student here. That will be same. I copy it, and then here I paste it. Okay, and that will be as a, I just replace ER to the group, and that will be as a student group add. If you go, you can see that is a student group add. That will be our route. Perfect. Now in our student group controller, I want to create another method as a student group add. Okay, student group add, this type of the method I want to create in our student group controller. Perfect. Now I want to copy everything from our student year controller. That will be one of the page I have to load. I copy it, and after that I paste it. So our method will be as a student group add. I copy it, and here it will be as a student group add. Now in our backend, in our setup, I have created another folder as a group, and then that will be as a add group, right? So now we have to create this add group page in our group folder. That means in our backend setup, a group folder. Here I have to create another new file. Click as a save as, and name it as a add group.blade.php. Right, so it will be just like our year add year. I copy it, I just select everything from to this position, and now in our group, in our add group, here I paste it. So now I want to customize it. That will be as a student, add a student group, and then that will be as a student group name or field name. I just name it at the same name. You can change it. Right now actually we don't need to change anything. Perfect. So that's all. Okay, now click as a save all. Now go there, click as a refresh. Now go to our add student group. Yeah, it's successfully downloaded our insert, that is the input field as a student group name. So from here I want to insert this data. So that is our add page. So that is our add, and there is a route. So now I want to change that route. It will be as a stored student group. Okay, that will be as a store student group. And now if you go to our web route, I copy from here, that means our year, I copy it, that will be as a post method. I just replace the year to the group and then year to the group, right? So that is our store student group. If you go there, you can see that is a student store student group. Perfect. So now I have to create another method in our student group controller, into the student group controller, and to create another method as a student group store, group group store. So this type of the method I want to create. So it will be just like our student here into the student year controller. That will be just like same, but I copy it. That means this method I copy it, and now in our student group here I simply paste it. Okay, perfect. So here we have to change that name. I have to change that name as a student group store, not that student year store. So I replace it. That will be as a request and validation file name as the same name. It will be as required. It will be as unique in our database table. Our database table for the group I have created as a student group. So now I copy it and then I simply paste it. Perfect. And then our model name, I have already loaded our model as a student group. So now with this student group, I created that object. I pass that data, and that means our database name field, and that is our requested name field is the same. And I save this data, send that notification student group inserted successfully, and that all type will be as a success type, and return redirect to our student group index page, which I have already created, right? I have already created as a student group page, that means this page. So it should be return redirect to particular that area. So for the reasons here in our web, I have created one of the route that will be as a student group view. I copy it, that will be as a student group and then view, right? So I simply pass it. We pass it with the notification. Perfect. Okay, perfect friends. So that's all we have to do. Now click as a save all, and now go there, click as a refresh. Now I want to add one of the group, click as a add group, and I just name it as a art. Okay, art, one of the group name, click as a submit. Yeah, you can see it's student group inserted successful. Now click as a add another one. I name it as a science. So that will be as a science, click as a submit. Now you can see the student group inserted successful. I add another one as a health. Okay, health, one of the group. Now click as a submit. Perfect. So everything is now successfully inserted, right? So now I have to edit it. That means with this specific requested ID, we have to edit, right? So if you want to do that work, we have to work in our view page. Now go to our view, and into the view, that is our edit. So I want to create one of the as a student group edit. Okay, group edit, and also we have to edit it with a specific one of the ID. Now go to our web route. I want to copy it from our year route. That will be as a edit. I copy this route, and here I paste it. That will be as a student group edit with a specific one of the ID, and that will be as a student group edit, right? So that will be as a right. So in our view, I have created as a student group edit with the ID. So that is our student group edit, and that is actually our ID. So now in your student group controller, I want to create one of the method as a student group edit. So this type of one of the method I want to create in our student group controller. So I want to copy it from again. I copy it from our student year controller, and then I paste it in our student group. So I paste it. So that will be our method we have to change. A method will be as a student group edit. I copy it, and then it will be as a student group edit, and that is our ID. And then I take that same variable, and then our model right now as a student group. Find that a specific row ID data, return view in our setup into the group folder. I have already created one of the folder as a group, right? So this is the group, and I want to create one of the edit group. Okay, that will be as edit group. I have to create, better I am to make it as a small letter. So now we have to create this edit group page in our group folder. Now go to, that is our group folder. Here I have to create one of the new one. Click as a save as, name it as edit group.blade.php, and that will be just like our ER edit. I copy everything from our ER edit and now I paste it in our edit group. So it will be as a edit student year. I make it as edit student group. Okay, and that will be as edit student group, and then that will be the student group name, and the value I have already passed that same name with the edit data. So for the reasons here we don't need to change anything actually. Okay, so for the reasons here we don't need to change anything. That will be just like that same. I pass it in our edit group page. In our edit group page, that is our edit data. I show that our database field name as a name. Okay, so that means it will be perfectly loaded. That's all. Now if you click as a save all, and now go there, click as a refresh. So now if you put your cursor, you can see it's now showing as edit 1 ID, 2 ID, and the 3 ID. So now if you click as the art, click as edit. So our art value should be visible. You can see our art is now visible. So now we have to update it. Better I want to continue this process. In our next video, I will complete that update portion and the delete portion. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.